everyone, and welcome back to the Rogers channel. And guys, this is our final Five Nights at Freddy's video for this whole entire wave, but it's going to be a good one for sure, because we're taking a look at the Jazwares Five Nights at Freddy's Mangle Jumpscare action figure. Now, for this one being, the final figure for this wave, I can definitely see that it is totally different from what we've been reviewing so far. Just by judging off of the figure's body, I think this is going to be like an actual Mangle. But of course, you get the same style packaging with the Five Nights at Freddy's logo, Freddy in the background, this massive bubble featuring the figure, and some of the features. And then, of course, it shows those features right here with the glowing eyes, the jump scare action, the name of the character, which is Mangle, the power usage right here, and the camera. And then here in the back of the box, you do get another cool visual of Freddy right here, the Five Nights at Freddy's logo, a few shots of the figure we're reviewing, and of course, the overview or checklist of the entire wave. So, of course, we have Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, and now the Mangle. Nothing on the bottom or top of the bubble, so I'll just go ahead and review the figure and get out of the box. And here's the figure out of the box. And no, I didn't disassemble her. She actually came like this, already, disassembled in the plastic tray, so I just took out the pieces. But this is really cool because you get pretty much everything you need to assemble the Mangle. So, of course, we have the two individual heads, the owl and the main head. We have the main body, the two arms, and the 2 feet. What I'll go ahead and do is assemble the Mangle as they show on the packaging, and from there, we'll take a closer look at the overall figure. And now here is the Mangle fully assembled, and oh my goodness. Like I said, I just built it to the way that it's described, so yeah, this is super cool. I love that, you get to literally build the Mangle in any way, shape, and form that you want, but for this review, I'm just going to review her as she's intended. And without further ado, let's go ahead and start from top to bottom. Checking out the heads, it's really awesome. I think they did a fantastic job with the overall look of Mangle. Really captures what you've seen in the game and the movie. So starting off with the main head, of course you can see that it does have the Funtime Foxy sort of like look with the white fur, the pink inside of the ears, pink at the snout, around the eyes. There are some really nice printed details like the eyes right here, the eyelashes, and then there is some lipstick and some little like cheek marks or blush. So that is really cool seeing those little additions. She also has wires sticking out from the side of the head. And then here in the back of the head is the jump scare feature for her. So by flipping the switch down or pushing it in, she does do her big wide mouth right here and opens it very huge. It's very neat. But yeah, overall a really nice feature. Now, as far as articulation, I am very impressed by this, and I'm sure you guys would be as well. She does have like a slight ball joint right here, located at the, I guess, the neck part of the body. But yeah, so there is some slight movement that you get within that head joint, so that is really cool. Taking a look at the owl, of course, is the other side of her face right here with the other eye and things like that. But the owl is very interesting because it's the endoskeleton part of the face. So it's exposed. You can see the wiring, the jaws, and things like that. So really, really cool model. But as far as like with the whole jump scare feature, it's down here, which is very interesting because you would have to like go at a slant in order to achieve the whole jump scare feature like this. But if you're gonna do it right here, you can't access it unless the head's tilted. So other than that, it is really cool. And like you just saw, you also get a pretty nice ball joint right here at the neck part. So there is some pretty decent movement. Also around that whole neck joint for the Mangle, there is this bow tie, which is a nice little feature. It does move around. It has like a joint of its own, so you can pop it out or fix it in any way that you want, whether it's at an angle. But overall, really cool. Moving on to the torso area, it is a whole another side of this figure. So where the head joint is supposed to go, you put her left hand, and that's by removing it from this side right here. You just place it on top of that joint. Um, the main body features a lot of pegs, obviously, like you can already see, which is very impressive. I think that is so cool, seeing that this is a truly amazing, body for the Mangle instead of it being already pre-sculpted. Even though it would work pre-sculpted, I think that is a great way to sort of have that playability with the figurine instead of having it just a standalone sort of like shape. You literally are making the Mangle. So all of these joints can connect each of these parts in any way, shape, or form. So that is really cool seeing that. But yeah, and of course, these act as their traditional ball joints, so you are able to move things around in any type of pose that you want, which is incredible. I give kudos to the designing team that worked on this figure. Really amazing job, because you're literally going to be moving it with different poses, which I'll be sure to talk about at the overview. But overall, this is the main body, so you get pretty nice amount of movement as well at the bottom right there with this ball joint. So really, really cool seeing that. And now checking out the arms. um, the arms, of course, are able to move around, like I mentioned before, in every direction that you can imagine. The ball joint is very free roaming. Um, the joints themselves do not move in any particular way as far as like the arm ones, or at least this one doesn't. It stays standalone, so there isn't anything additional right there. There is, however, the empty peg, which you can place an arm if you wanted, so you can mix and match however you want, whether you want the longer arm. You, of course, put the hand right back on it, but other than that, that's pretty much the only other feature. For the right arm, it goes all the way down here towards the hip. Again, has very nice motion. This one, however, does have a joint right here at the elbow, so you are able to move it pretty freely. And there is a joint right here at the wrist and at the hand. Looking at the waist, I think it's funny because I always get a kick out of me doing a traditional figure, but seeing that this is literally a whole entire different way of viewing the figure, and this being the hip part already is very interesting to me. But anyway, this is the waist or hips, however you want to put it. So looking at the waist, you do get this bigger boxier sort of piece right here that has 4 individual joints for the leg, so you can mix and match the legs however you want them. And she does have this tail piece, or like this little yeah, it's gonna be like a tail piece. It's different from Toy Bonnie's. It does not pull out, but still a nice addition. And last but not least, we have her feet, or at the leg pieces at least. So you get a wide range of motion, depending on the legs right here, obviously. The joints are very stable and secure, which is very cool, seeing that there's a wider figure. So you want some balance in there. The left foot is very wide, as you can see. So it's extended outwards, which helps out a lot, kind of balancing things out. On her right foot, it is regular, so it's just a single foot with the painted pink toenails. But other than that, it's pretty much the same sort of looking joint. And thankfully, this is actually the first time we're actually getting a fully functional rocker ankle, so you're able to move it around in any way and shape and form, like I've said before, which helps out a lot with balancing out the figure. And of course, last but not least, as far as the other feature besides the jump scare action, is going to be the glowing eyes. Now, it doesn't show up too well, like out of the camera, but I did sort of lighten it up. So there's kind of like this blue hue. Oh, right there. That's perfect. I'll be sure to zoom in on those two effects right there. But you can definitely see that blue hue around the eyes. It's not as bright. Maybe I haven't shined it enough on the figures, but I don't think it's as bright as the other ones we reviewed, which isn't, terrible, but still, um, I would prefer the maximum sort of like glow in the dark effect, just like the other ones. Like you could literally see that blue hue around the eyeballs. There, that's better. So yeah, there it is. There's that glow in the dark effect. You can see it around their eyes, which is really cool. I love that. And now, as an overview of the figure, she's for sure a 10 out of 10. And I am going to state it right here, right now, that she is totally worth every cent. She has the same value as the other figures we reviewed in this lineup, being Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Toy Chica. They all range at around $12, at least where I got it from GameStop. But right away, I can tell that this figure has a lot of potential, and you can still play with it a bunch of times, again and again, pose it in different ways, and that's what I'm going to get at right now. The seller for me was not just the articulation, but the overall playability that you can do with the Mangle. Like you can literally pose her or choose different ways to style the Mangle. It doesn't have to be the exact look or things like that, because it's obviously a playable character that you can disassemble and reassemble into different shapes and forms based around whatever you like. The jump scare action is again another seller for this figure. I know the other ones have it, but seeing two separate versions of it in one is very impressive to me. And lastly, the detail. Again, props to the people there at Jazwares for making the figure or designing it. It looks legit. It looks just like it came out of the video game or the movie. So again, a really awesome, model. Doesn't look cheaply made at all. So again, the overall articulation, the design, everything is 10 out of 10 for me. And then real quick, just to do a quick overview of the size comparison, here is all the figures within the wave side by side. So of course we have Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, and Mangle. And another comparison, which is kind of interesting and kind of creepy at the same time, is that wasn't even Mangle's full extent as far as the height. Stretching out her legs normal like she would be. This is what she would basically be standing at, which is kind of scary to think about. The Mangle is huge on its own, but if it was a full body Mangle, that's pretty much what you're looking at. But yeah, overall, I am very satisfied with this wave of figures that I've been able to review here on the channel. It's been a blast, and I cannot wait to try and find more Jazwares Finance Freddy's figures later on, and that's a mouthful. um, I have seen pictures online of some of the upcoming exclusives and things like that, so I'm hoping to get a hold of them. My local Target isn't the best at restocking lately, so I'm kind of leaning towards maybe just ordering them online, which is probably the best resort. But I recommend, if you are a Finance of Freddy's fan or you're barely getting into the hobby, please consider getting yourself, each and every one of these figures. They are top notch, top quality. They are some of the best ones out there right now. And value wise, you're not looking at a huge budget for these guys. Each of them is costing like $12, and if you're a pro member at GameStop, you can easily get, that discount or the monthly discount, so even better. But yeah, I had a blast reviewing these figures, and if you guys had a blast watching me review these figures, then please consider subscribing, liking the video, and following me on Instagram for more. But I thank you all so much for watching these videos and sticking around for them. And with that said, I'll catch you all on the next one.